All right, let's get started. If you're looking for a dog trainer here in the Colony, Texas, this is for you. We're going to walk through everything you need so you can find the right professional and feel really good about your choice. You know, life with a dog here in the Colony means you could be on the Stewart Creek trails one afternoon and just relaxing at home the next. The goal of good training is to make sure your dog is a great companion no matter where you are, that they're confident and well-behaved from the park to the patio.
So, where do you even begin? Well, before we even get into the price or the schedule, let's talk about what actually makes a good trainer. The most important things to look at first are their training philosophy and their professional qualifications.
Okay, the gold standard in dog training today, and really the only one you should be looking for, is positive reinforcement. It's pretty simple. You reward the behaviors you want to see more of. This approach builds trust and makes training a fun game for your dog, not a chore.
And on the other side of that coin, you'll want to avoid any trainer who relies on fear, intimidation, or physical punishment. Those methods are really outdated, and they can often make behavior problems worse, creating things like anxiety and even aggression. It's just not worth it.
Now here's something you really need to know. Texas doesn't have a state license for dog trainers. That makes certifications like these incredibly important. They show that a trainer has taken their education seriously. A CPDT is fantastic for everyday obedience, but if you see something like a CBCC or a CDBC, that means the trainer has specialized knowledge for more complex issues.
Okay, so once you've found a trainer who uses positive methods and has solid credentials, it's time to get into the details. Let's look at the different kinds of training programs available and what you can expect them to cost around here.
Your two most common options are going to be group classes or private sessions. Group classes are wonderful for practicing around other dogs and people, and they're usually more affordable. But if you're dealing with issues that only happen at home, like your dog going crazy when the doorbell rings, a private, in-home session is where you'll get a plan tailored specifically for you.
So let's talk numbers. This table gives you a general idea of the costs for different training services here in the Colony and the surrounding area. As you can see, there's a pretty wide range. One tip is to always look at the training packages. Buying a block of sessions up front usually brings down the cost per lesson and is often a much better value.
And there are other options too. Day training is perfect if your schedule is packed. The trainer does the work while you're at your job. For more serious issues like severe anxiety or reactivity, a behavior consultation is the right place to start. And board and train programs are basically an immersive boot camp for your dog.
All right, feeling more prepared? You've got the background on training methods, different program types, and what it all costs. Now you're all set to actually start reaching out to some trainers.
Now we're at what is probably the most critical part of this whole process, that initial conversation with a potential trainer. Knowing what to ask is going to make all the difference in finding the perfect fit for you and your dog.
Think of this as your interview guide. You want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. Ask them how they'll create a plan that works for your specific dog and your lifestyle, not just a cookie-cutter program. And make sure you understand what you need to do for practice, because the homework you do between sessions is where the real progress happens.
So you've hired a trainer and you've got a plan. Now for the fun part, putting those new skills to the test out in the real world. A well-trained dog is so much fun to have around town, but you do need to know the local rules of the road.
And here's a super simple but vital tool, a standard 6-foot leash. It gives you the best control on sidewalks and trails, and it's the easiest way to make sure you're following the local leash laws. For most public outings, it's best to leave those retractable leashes at home.
Here are the top 3 rules every dog owner in the Colony should know. Your dog has to be on a leash anytime you're off your property. That rabies tag needs to be on their collar at all times. That's a state law. And good training can really help with nuisance barking, which helps everyone in the neighborhood get along.
So where can you go to practice all these new skills? The Colony Dog Park at River Chase is the best spot for safe, off-leash work, especially for recall. For practicing leash manners around distractions, Stewart Creek Park is perfect. And once your dog is more advanced, Hidden Cove Park offers a bigger challenge to really solidify their focus. Just, remember that Texas heat. Early mornings and evenings are your best bet in the summer.
And really, that sums it all up. The goal is to find a professional who uses kind, modern methods and who also gets what it takes for a dog to be happy and successful right here in our community. Choosing the right trainer is really just the first step to having so many more great experiences with your dog. I hope this gives you the confidence you need to go out and find that perfect person.
A well-trained dog really opens up your world, from enjoying a relaxing walk through the neighborhood to exploring all the great parks our city has to offer. Good luck, and enjoy the journey with your best friend.